a word, everything you never heard. We be talking, oh, we talking.
Hello, how y'all doing? Welcome back to another video. We are talking about something very juicy today. Okay. Well, I don't even know if it's juicy. I would say something that's very important for the times.
Yeah,
And if you have
yeah,
kids, I think you're really going to enjoy this show. So,
yeah.
this show is about the birds and the bees, or is it really the birds and the bees? And all of the things that's wrapped up into introducing sex or talking to your children about sex. And I think this is a very important topic, especially if they're going to be going to public school. Okay. You need to talk to them about sex, and you need to talk to them about what's expected, or what they what it is, because you don't want them to get it from their friends and they're going to ain't no telling what they call it nowadays. They're gonna give it to them raw. So I think this is a very important topic. Very with everything that's going on in the world, you want to talk to the children about sex. So that's what the video is about. Before I go into the video, that is Tamara.
Hey y'all.
And of course, I'm Sheikah. And don't forget to comment, subscribe,
Yes.
share our video. Look, share the video.
Yeah, share it.
Comment down at the bottom. We still brainstorming, coming up with some new things, some new ideas for our channel, to make it better. But in the meantime, and in between time, we thank y'all for that. Those are who watching and subscribing. We thank y'all for rocking with us. Okay. So with that being said, sweet little topic here.
Yes.
Mara, what you think about introducing or talking to your children about sex, and what does that look like in 2021, 2022? Like, what that conversation sound like?
Girl, listen, especially now in 2021, you have to talk to your kids about sex. It's not even a if, it's a when you gonna talk to your kids about sex. And I feel like this conversation is bound to happen sooner than later now.
Yeah.
The younger, when your kids are way younger than before, because every day I feel like they've been bombarded with sex. Every day, like the cartoons aren't cartoons anymore. The things that we saw that were like innocent, like kids, just watching TV, all that stuff. I feel like they're pushing sex and all kind of perversion in those things, and your children are seeing it. So if we as parents don't talk to our kids about sex, they're going to learn. They're going to learn it, and they probably won't learn the way you want them to learn it. So they're going to learn it.
What is too young? Like, what is too young? Like, when did you introduce it?
And I feel like that's a good question, because I feel like if they're old enough to watch TV, if they're old enough to watch cartoons, because there are references made in cartoons about sex.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they're old enough to watch cartoons, then you should sit them down and try to, if you can't manage what they watch 24/7, which you cannot, and if you can, more power to you. But most parents are not able to manage what their kids watch 24/7. You cannot keep them in a bubble to where they can't go outside and talk to their friends who's talking about sex because they done learned it, or they done seen something, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like even my son's 8 years old, and he came home one day talking about, Mom, what's gay? And this was before he was 8. This was like when he was 7. And he was like, what's gay? And I was like, where'd you get that from? And the way he explained it, it didn't make sense. So I knew he didn't know what being gay was or what gay was.
Right.
But it was just a word being thrown around in his class at 7 years old. You know what I'm saying?
That I had something similar like that happen. My son came home after we had moved from a predominantly, and not to say, when I say this, I ain't saying white kids don't talk about sex, because they do. But some of the terms that certain cultures use versus other cultures are different. And so we moved from a predominantly white school to a predominantly Black, and the way that my son carried himself, mind you, he had been in elementary school this whole time. right? So the way he carried himself, he kind of adopted to this atmosphere. Now he was all boy, but he adapted, I'm sorry, to this atmosphere. So he carried himself a certain way.
Yeah.
Moved to this school and they started calling him a fruit cup. And he had no idea. He was like, Mama, what is fruit cup? What does that mean? Why they calling me a fruit cup? And he was like, Mom, they say I don't spit, or I don't sag my pants, or I don't do this, or I don't do this, or the way that I talk. And so I had to legit talk to him about who he was and not changing him for anybody. And if he was comfortable with the way that he dressed, I said,
Yes.
Do you see your daddy pants hanging below his butt? He was like, No,
Right.
daddy don't
No.
dress like that. Do you see your daddy, just the demeanor? I just had to explain, like, do you see your daddy doing this? Do he act like this? Is he out? No. So you doing what your daddy do and you fine. You're gonna be just fine, just kind of explain to them that who you are is who you are, and don't let nobody or nothing change that. Be confident in that. You create a thing. You create something somebody want to walk after and be like type deal. But anyway, that ain't what we're talking about. But
sure. I mean, like that. I think that's relevant. That's very relevant.
The talk, like calling the fruit cup, and the reason why they call them fruit cup, that's what all that was about. But I feel like here's something I want to say. Do you remember being a child and watching certain shows that were subliminal, or they had like certain shows that might have not even been subliminal? It's just that you was a child, so you didn't comprehend it. And then when you got grown, you was like, oh my God, that's what that means. Yeah, you remember being like that?
Yeah, but now it's not nothing subliminal now for these kids. It's like everything is smack dab in their face.
But I think it's important to have those conversations with younger children. But I want to say, kind of be careful of what you're exposing them to when you're talking to them, because when you're a child, you just don't connect the dots. Somebody knocking the boots, right? You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Give me some good love or sweet love, whatever he said. I thought rocking in my head as a kid, and I don't care how many times I heard it. When I heard somebody knocking the boots, and I think I asked my mom, I said, Mama, what does knocking the boots mean?
And what did she say?
So you know how the cowboys, when they click their boots together like that? That's what it means. So in my mind, that's what I believed. Yeah. And I'm like, every time I heard this, I'm like, man, I don't know why they keep knocking their boots. But I thought that it was knocking boots together. Yeah. My whole point is saying that is when you are a child, like you think like a child, and I don't want to introduce it too soon. That's all I'm saying. I want to awaken something or get an idea or an imagination about something too soon. But don't worry, I figured out what knocking the boots was, and I went to her and I told her, I said, look, that is not knocking no boots.
But this is a thing though. I know, like, I would love for my kids to remain innocent as long as possible. Mm-hmm. And when I say innocent, I mean like not to be ignorant about things, you know what I'm saying? But not to be exposed to certain things too soon. And I feel like, some things that you see, especially on, social media, television, or whatever, movies, I feel like some things are just not relevant to kids being kids right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, let them just be children and enjoy being young and irresponsible and just playing and watching cartoons and laughing because the cartoon is funny, and not have to worry about Superman being bisexual.
Y'all, have anybody seen it? Okay, so knowing what our beliefs are, knowing how we believe and what we stand for. And that's the agenda being forced on our children. Like, I feel like let a child be a child. Don't do that. And then now with kids that are innocent, that don't think, they think concrete. What I mean by that, kids think they don't think abstract. They don't make up stuff. I mean, of course, like when they be playing, but I'm talking about if your child came to you at 5 years old and said, somebody touched my pee-pee, then somebody touched his pee-pee.
Right, and they don't make stuff up.
Make up nobody that don't have the ability at that age to come to you and say, to create that. They have to be exposed to those things. those things have to be introduced to them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sex, they have to be introduced. Fear have to be introduced. Different
Yes.
things have to be introduced to younger children. So it has to be introduced some way. And most of the time it get introduced on TV and all the other crap we watching, but
Mm-hmm.
like it's important that we pray over our children, that we seek Holy Spirit concerning guidance on how to raise them, and we need to inform them. Because if you
Absolutely.
don't inform them, somebody else will. The
Listen,
world will, and they're gonna
the
inform
world
them.
will.
So what you got to do as a parent is have those tough conversations. Like I just feel like you need to have them, and I think it is your choice on how soon you want to give that to your child, because only you know what your child is saying to you or doing or expressing
Right.
or whatever, because it can happen as early as 6 or 7. Kids get introduced to porn. Look, being on YouTube and being
Oh God.
like the tablets, like all the tablets the kids have and everything, they're gonna get introduced to it. You want to make sure you watch as much as you can, and even when you can't, it's important to have those conversations because you don't know what they're looking at.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
And I can speak for experience when it comes to that, because my son, I want to say maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, whatever, he was just, on his little on his tablet or whatever, just going through stuff. And usually when he's on, I allow him to go on YouTube Kids, and they have the little people and they have the little YouTube channel or whatever for the kids, right? And for some way, he was searching for a show that he watches, right? And some way, somehow, that show, those characters in that show came up in a pornography.
wow.
So he was like, what? So my daughter was like, Mom, look what Daniel's watching. And when I tell you, he was just like, so confused as to like, what's going on? He's like, why is he doing that to her private part?
Well, why you doing to her private part, girl? Girl,
But I was just like, oh my gosh.
How you had to talk to her about what
at that moment, I had to, like, let me tell you how I felt. My heart sunk. Like my heart was like, my son, oh my gosh, he's so young. He's 7 years old. And my heart like literally sunk. Like I felt bad the whole freaking day. And it wasn't like he went looking for anything. He was searching for a show that he watched that I approve of,
right.
a kiddie show. And this thing came up in a form of a pornography. It was those characters or whatever.
Of course, out of curiosity, he gonna want to see what's going on.
Yeah. Course. So, I'm like, Daniel, so what did you see? I asked him, what did he see, or, what was going on? And he was just like, that's so disgusting. That's so nasty. And I was like, Daniel, don't you do that to anybody. He's like, ew, no, that's nasty. And he wasn't just saying that. I could tell that he genuinely felt like that was nasty.
Of course. At his age right now, that's nasty.
Yeah. And I was like, I took that opportunity. I was like, has anybody ever done that to you? It's just crazy that it's so easy to access those. Your kids could just go and it's just there. They don't even got to look for it. It's just
crazy.
Yeah.
And you know what else? Like, it's so hard that we already got. I mean, it's hard for parents. I know for me, not necessarily hard, but the fact that I got to have these conversations with my kids. For the most part, all my children's lives, I've been very open with them.
Mm-hmm.
And, not to say that my mom wasn't open with me, because she was. She talked to me a lot about sex and different things, and a lot of things about my body and different things. So I wasn't oblivious to certain things that happened when it was happening. But I felt like I couldn't go to her when sex was introduced to me outside of the house, meaning alone from her conversation.
Yeah.
And me wanting to engage in it and me wanting to learn or whatever, explore sex. I couldn't talk to her. So I explored it And I didn't talk to nobody about it.
But why did you feel like you couldn't talk to her, even though, because you said that she was open with you, she told you about sex, but why did you feel that way?
Because her approach was telling me, educating me on what sex is, and if it happens, these things could happen if you were to have sex, and all of this stuff. And from a biblical standpoint, like sex is a no-no unless you're married, and it was more so of, this is what sex is, this is what can happen to you, don't do it. It was like that. You know what I mean? This is what you can expect. This is what your body is doing. And the reason why your body is doing this is now you can have a baby if you was to have sex, and this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. So she explained all these things to me, and what, my cycle was, and what it was going to be, all that good stuff, right? But it was pretty much, this is sex, but don't you do it, because you're not old enough, you're not saved, and if you do it, you die.
Right.
She didn't say if I did it, I died, but
that's how you felt.
That's like how it came. My mom was serious, and I knew not to play with my mama. So
don't you play.
I'm like, you know what?
Don't you do it.
I said, Jeanette, you got it, you and Jesus. And I mean, I did it, but she didn't know until. Look,
you wasn't that scared.
Right.
That's scared.
No. I was scared to talk to her about it, but I was, I was, y'all gotta pray for me. I did what I wanted to do. I wanted to do. I used to be like, I know.
Well, thank God for Jesus.
Right. I used to be like, I know I'm gonna get this whooping. Let me go ahead and get this over with.
Let it be worth it, right?
Right. But so with me having teenage daughters that are 17 now, and we are getting ready to go to college in a couple months, in some months, at the end of the year or whatever. Like a couple months. I'm looking at it as months. I ain't even got a year no more. So I've had to have these conversations like years ago.
Right.
And the way that I approached it, I wanted them to know, because I was a teen mom. Like, I got pregnant as a teenager and in high school, and I didn't want them to go through that. And that was one of my biggest fears. Like, oh my God, I don't want my babies to get pregnant, because I had a bunch of girls. And that was one of the reasons why I had no girl. I didn't want to have no girls, because contrary to what they say, if a boy go out and make a baby, he don't deal with as much embarrassment.
Oh, absolutely not.
Issues that the girls deal with. Of course, as a parent, I'm going to make him realize that this is his responsibility. But what if they don't have that type of parent in the household? It's like, no, that ain't your baby, she fast.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That type of deal. But he don't have to go through what we go through. And so I had to go through a lot of different things, emotionally, physically. I had to go through a lot dealing with that. And I endured a lot. I feel like, I don't even want to get into this, a whole nother video. The church I grew up in, maybe we can talk about some of our church hurt experience.
Ooh.
Some of the things that were said across the pulpit concerning what my children may be, or the decisions I have made and different things like that, which led my mom to eventually leave because of some of those things. There's a lot of collective little things added up. But I always walked, because of that seed that was planted, I had in my mind, oh my God, I've started a chain reaction of generational curses. That's kind of how it came. And now my girl's going to end up getting pregnant before high school. But when I received Christ Jesus as my Lord and Savior, or when I had started to develop a relationship, and that was one of my concerns, one of my fears, one of my issues, and I took it to him. And he began to encourage me, y'all, that this don't have to be, and that's not true. That was a lie. And he began to encourage me and taught me different things of what I should do and how I should go about doing it with my girls. And for a long time, I battled with birth control for them. Like, you going on birth control at 13. That was my mindset, because I got pregnant early. And I didn't want to give them an opportunity. Nope, I don't care about sex, whether you have it, if you're not, I'm putting you on birth control. But I didn't do it. The Lord walked with me throughout those years, and I matured, and we began to have those conversations about what it is, and every person desires it. And here is the thing: sex is natural.
It is.
God created it, so we have to, especially in these Christian homes, we have to stop.
We have to talk about it.
Yeah, we got to stop making it so unnatural. And
if
you want to do it, it's wrong. No, if I want to do it, it's not wrong. I explain that to them. If your body have cravings, I mean, if you want to do certain things, not that your body have cravings until you introduce it, but if you start to feel a certain way or this happening, you're growing up, your body's maturing. It's okay to desire sex
Yeah.
from another person. That's normal.
Yeah. And you're not weird, you're not disgusting, there's nothing wrong with you.
Right.
It's a natural process that your body is going through.
Yeah, and when we talked about it, I opened it up as, hey, look, this is what we're doing. Like, you want to do it? And I was straight up with them, and like I made it to where they knew they could come and talk to me.
Yes, I was gonna ask you that. Yeah,
I know they ain't telling me everything. And honestly, I was talking to Samara today. She was like, when they go out, I don't want to know everything. I think I said
me crazy
to my daughter the other day, and I was like, I moaned or something, and she was like, "Mom," somebody said something about me moaning. I was like, whatever. And what happened? I said, well, you better not be. And I said, Megan, how you moan? Is that how you moan? And she said something to me, not to say she's having sex, but she was like something about I was moaning wrong. So I'm like, do you know how to moan? Is that the way you moan? And so she was like, Mama, I think that's crossing the line. You asking me how I moan is not what you want to know. It's one of my oldest daughters. And I'm like, you're kind of right, but you shouldn't be moaning. Then I went on, like, you ain't moaning, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, my whole thing is I made it where we have an open atmosphere. And
yes,
if they
I think that's key
about sex. I'm not gonna bust you in your head. I'm not gonna punch you in your lips.
Yeah. I think that's key. I think it's important for you to have that open door policy when it comes to that with your kids, so that when they do hear it outside, it's not a big shocker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you would want them to hear it from you first. So when they hear it outside, okay, yeah, it's not a big shocker, like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh,
Right.
Yeah, you definitely have to do that for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I did. I just opened it up, and we had hard conversations. And have I heard some things I don't want to hear? Of course. And have I had to live up to what I told them I wouldn't do? Of course.
Yes.
But that was a part of me keeping my word. And that was to show them that, hey, because if you're going through something, yeah, I want there to be people that they can talk to, right? If they can't come to me. But I'm your parent.
Yeah, I
have your back more than
yes, anything. I want the best for you more than anybody.
So anybody that you should be able to run to when you feel like you're in a pickle or you're in trouble or you got something going on, just call me. I heard this girl, she was a virgin. She kept herself for her husband. But her story was so amazing to me. And it encouraged me to, like, I would love this for my girls. And what she did, she presented her purity back to her father on her wedding day. And she went to the doctor, and the doctor checked her, and she presented to her dad, like, look, I'm still a virgin. I went to the doctor last week. I'm still a virgin. And this is my like a purity token to her father, because he was giving her away. So she was giving back, like, I ain't finna be no virgin no more, because my husband finna say it up. So, but during her process, one of the things I got, she was saying how her mom was talking to her about sex, and that's when it clicked. Like, it's natural. Animals do it. Nature do. Like, everybody reproduce. God created you to reproduce after your own kind. And so she said she was with her husband now, but boyfriend at the time. And she called her mom, and mind you, she's like probably 18, 19, because I think she was grown. And she called her mom. She was like, Mom, I want to do it. So the fact that her mom was like, well, girl, you better get out of there. I know you want to do it and you feel it, but I'm telling you, if you don't get out of there, you ain't gonna be able to keep your they had that kind of and I'm like, man, I want that. Lord, I want my babies to be able to call me and be like, Mom,
I'm about to do it like Mom.
Like right now, Mom, because he over here looking good. Like
girl, run.
That was her accountability partner.
Yeah.
She felt comfortable. And I know it sounded a little but that's what she felt comfortable calling. But who gonna give you the best advice in a situation like that?
Come on.
Mama?
Yes.
Get out of there.
Come on. Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So
I know a lot of people didn't have that experience, especially in our generation. Like, a lot of people didn't have that experience where they had that open relationship, or, and like your mom told you a lot, but you still felt like you couldn't go to her with with
It's the way
you know,
she told me. She
the way it was
educated
her
me.
approach.
But
So
you
you were
was
educated.
like, this is it, but don't you dare do it.
Right. So her approach was different. So that still put like the fear, like, even if I'm gonna do it, I'm never gonna tell. It's gonna be my secret,
Right.
But a lot of us grew up like that. So we have to get out of that and realize that, listen, these kids, they both face nowadays.
All the twerking in the
Listen.
music, that's all music is now, is sex.
Listen, and listen, they're talking
My
about, and it's
daughter-
not back in our days, we were worried about, oh, we kissing boys and touching and fondling. Girl, they
Right.
sucking and effing and doing all kinds of stuff. Okay. These little kids
Y'all
are
put-
not like, I'm sorry, like
Wait, what they doing? Say
they effing and effing.
Y'all heard it from her.
They are.
Effing and effing.
Yes, they doing all kinds of, like, these kids are like having oral sex at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
Girl,
20, 21. That
you
was
gotta go
unheard
down
of.
on that spectrum. These kids having sex earlier than that now.
I'm saying, like,
And
at that
especially
age,
those
when
who
we
are
were
not,
that age, we weren't even thinking about that. That was like so far-fetched when I was 15, oral sex, 14, 15, and then
well,
no.
especially in Jamaica, like that's a very
Girl.
taboo thing.
Girl.
Yeah.
But it's like now, oh my gosh, 12, 11,
Oral sex is
they're
not
doing, it's like kissing. Oral sex is like kissing
right. And
now.
I'm
It's
still
like,
trying to get past it. On my end, like what you want me? You want me to put in not a night?
it's your birthday.
I thought we said we're gonna do it next week.
Nah, let me stop.
No, let me
But I'm just saying, like, these kids they know more than we think they know. So we can't fool ourselves and think that they don't know nothing. We need to open up the conversation and make them comfortable enough to,
right.
and some people think that when making your kids comfortable enough to talk to you, that you're trying to be their friend and you're trying to do this. No, I'm trying to make sure that they are informed. And if they decide,
And I want them to know that
they
this is a
decide that they
safe
want
place to come talk.
right. And if they decide, I want them to make an informed decision about having sex, if that's what they choose to do.
Right.
Like, what are you gonna do if your child comes to you and say, Mom, I know I'm not married, and I know you said I shouldn't have sex, but I want to do it. What you gonna do? Lock them up in the house? Girl, they're gonna find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. They will find a way. So what is your job as a parent at that point where your child is adamant that they're going to have sex? You're gonna think that, oh, because you said don't do it, they're not gonna do it. Come on now.
Definitely.
Gotta get with it.
And
They
don't worry about
if they want it.
And you can't scare them and saying, oh, if you do it, it's gonna hurt, because they're gonna try it.
They don't care.
Be like, well, it hurt, but I'm gonna try it again.
Look, and they're gonna like that pain too.
I think we just had this conversation. It hurt, but I'm gonna do it one more time.
Right. They
And it
keep
hurt
on
that
doing it
time,
till it don't hurt
I'm gonna
all.
keep doing it till it don't hurt.
Till it don't hurt all.
And that's pretty much my story of losing my no, real life.
But yeah, it's we have to get out of the scaring our kids. And that goes for like they did that to us in church, trying to scare you out of hell and try to scare you out. That fear tactic don't work. It don't stick. It might work for a little bit, but it's not going to last.
No shape form. Let's bring God in this conversation.
Yes. And
when
we talk about God, we're not talking about fear, because God don't have nothing to do with fear.
Right. But what I mean by bring him in, Lord, how do I talk to my babies about this?
Yes.
Look, how do you, he will help you with talking to them about why. Again, I keep saying this, and it's so true. Satan didn't create sex. Well, I don't know. Some of the sex y'all have, he might have had something to do with it. But God is the originator of sex. So
and some of the things people are calling sex is not sex, it's something else.
Well, I mean, it might be sex, but I don't know what it is. Okay. But look, God is the originator of sex. And with that being said, if he's the originator of it, it's pure, it's holy, it's lovely, it's wonderful.
Girl, I'm still laughing at what you just said. You said some of the things y'all doing might not, but he might have been the
creator. Do you want me to name a few? I know he, meanwhile, I'm not. No.
Please don't.
All I'm saying is, I
Yes,
know that things that God creates can be perverted. And
of
I
course.
believe that that has been something that has been perverted. And it's so sought after. It's so what everybody sex and money.
Oh, come on.
That's
Yes.
the two biggest things everybody want. And nobody don't want the church to talk about neither one of those. Don't talk about no money. Don't
Don't
talk
talk
about
about no
sex.
money and don't talk about sex, but
And
you need to
that's what
talk
you
about it.
need guidance and wisdom on how to get both
Yes.
of them and how to get them the right way, where they're gonna
Yes.
last and they're gonna make you feel good and they're gonna fulfill you if you're talking about them the right way. I hear what
Well,
y'all
you better
talking
tell
about.
it.
But
I
anyway,
want to know.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I want to know what they think, like, especially for you that are watching that have kids. When do you feel like it's the right time to tell your kids about sex? And do you believe that that you should open up that conversation, that you should tell them before they find out on their own? You know, what are your thoughts?
I
Comment
think,
down below. Let us know.
but I think what you should do, and you can take it or leave it, because you grown and you do what you want to do. But I think when they start going to public school, because even in kindergarten, I think I went in kindergarten when Ursha came out. You know Ursha's song 7 o'clock dot
Yeah.
dot, cruising the streets.
You were in kindergarten when that song came out?
I just said I don't think I was in kindergarten, but
Oh.
I was in elementary school. Yes, I know I was in elementary school, and I got a and when he
Usher
said,
old.
oh Usher, oh. But when he said he got plans to put his hands in places that
I've never seen. Girl, you know what I mean.
when he said that, I knew exactly what he was talking about. But anyway, yes, do us a favor, comment down below. Let us know.
Did you know what
y'all
Usher
think
was talking about?
and let us know if you knew what Usher was talking about if he was a kid when he said it. and what you think about this conversation? Should you be having this conversation with your children? Like, is it an important conversation to have? And
Yes.
you know, all of this stuff. It's so much stuff happening. People introducing sex to your child the wrong way. Like, please comment, talk to us. Let us know if this is a conversation we need to go deeper in, because we just kind of surfaced it.
Yeah.
But let us know if this is something you want to hear. And y'all pray about Superman being bisexual. I ain't never known Superman being bisexual. Who you want?
And my thing is, how is that even relevant to him being Superman? What does that have to do with him being a superhero and saving the world or saving people that need help? What does that have to do with anything?
Why we got to add sex into
Why do
him
we
being
have to
Superman?
add that into it? Why can't
Let us know him as Superman, Clark Kent. I'm just saying, God.
Yes. I'm just so tired of it all. I am, y'all. Are y'all tired? Because I'm tired. I'm tired of it.
When you coming back?
Yeah, hurry up. I know I had said, wait till I get married, but you could go ahead and come because I don't got time for it.
Oh, so you don't want to be married?
I mean, so if he come right now, I'm ready. So married or not, I'm ready.
Of course. But my question is, you don't want to
I mean, I'm good. If I get married, I get married. If I don't, I don't.
Oh, look at the growth over there. Just wait till we hang this up. Because, I ought to blast her right here because I ain't going to do that. I'm going to be a good friend tonight.
What?
Yeah.
Anyways, y'all, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Okay? And share. Because I don't know what she could talking about.
So you don't want to feel it go in one time?
Girl, I do. Listen, that ain't no secret. But I'm saying the way the world is going, shoot, listen, we can hang it up. I don't mind.
Y'all know what? I think she been in heavy meditation and talking to Holy Spirit. So he keeping her over there because I done had some conversations with her. But anyway, y'all comment, like, share. Y'all look, join the conversation with us. And let us know what y'all think. Let us know what y'all think. Y'all watch these daggone videos. Stop playing with us.
Come on. Listen, y'all. What?
Watch them. We back on. We back posting. So go on.
To our, how many subscribers we have? To our 133 subscribers, we need to have at least 133 views each week.
I mean, everybody that's subscribed need to watch it. See, that's the crap I be talking about right there.
Oh, I told y'all don't want to get her started. Y'all better watch.
I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. Let me not do that because honestly, I am grateful that you even subscribe. I'm changing.
Absolutely.
So you know what? Love to y'all. You watch
Yes.
it, watch it. I believe this video
Yes.
is gonna reach who it needs to reach, and we're gonna keep it popping. All right.
Amen.
I love you guys.
We love Jesus. We love
Love
Jesus.
Jesus.
Mwah.
Talk to y'all later.
Bye.
We be talking.